Hi, I'm Addison Bennett. I am a senior LSM at Grove City College. I was an intern the summer of 2021, and I was involved growing up in FCA. I went to all their camps, but there wasn't a team in New Jersey, but I always wanted to be involved with FCA as much as possible. Like a lot of people involved in FCA, I grew up in a Christian home. My dad made it very clear that I was gonna go to FCA events as much as we could, and that I was going to go to church every Sunday, and we were going to prioritize that over sports, which growing up, that started to, at a young age, cause a strife. As I got older, that wedge, that the world and Christianity, that wedge got even deeper between the two. And as I got older, as that wedge grew, that resentment towards my parents also grew, to the point where as a freshman and sophomore, I started to rebel more and more. In middle school, I would have been known as a kid that would have very much so was a Christian, and even in high school, I still was known as a Christian, but I was not living out my faith. I was pursuing things that Christians shouldn't pursue. I was turning to the world for fulfillment, but I felt empty. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know where to go. I knew the Bible was an option, and I thought Christianity was an option, but when I looked at it, I thought I already had that. So I didn't think that was the problem, because I thought I already had a relationship with God. It wasn't until my junior year that I got a new Young Life leader, a guy named Jimmy Spilker, who was just an awesome dude who really poured into me, and he showed me that a relationship with God isn't a bunch of rules just trying to hold me back, but it's more like a slingshot. And a slingshot, when you pull it back, it looks like these rules are just pulling you back, but in all actuality, it's pulling you back so that it can shoot you forward. And that's exactly what happened when I started to grow my relationship with God when Jimmy came. He showed me that these rules and these guidelines were just a way for me to pursue life to the fullest as God intended. So when that happened, though, I had heard that message before many times, but what really changed with Jimmy was that he lived it. He didn't just say that, he showed it and he lived it. And I had an absolute blast my junior and senior year doing Young Life with him. So then as a senior, I came to college decisions and where to go. And my junior and senior year, I was both injured. I didn't play a single lacrosse game. I broke my back junior year and I tore my ACL senior year. And it came time to decide where to go to school. I was between Temple University in Philadelphia and Grove City College, where I ended up going, as you know. When I chose Grove City, though, it really did not make as much sense for what I wanted career-wise. Temple had the #1 sports management program in the country. I had been offered a coaching job on their coaching staff as a player or as a student coach, but when it came down to it, just felt like for my relationship with God, I was being called to Grove City. And when I decided to go to Grove City, I talked to the coaching staff. I talked to Coach Jernstead and the other coaches and told them I wanted to coach one day. I didn't know what sport, whether it was football or lacrosse, but I said I wanted to coach, and they said, that'd be awesome. You could be a student manager, and you learn a lot about breaking down film and what is involved in coaching. They said I could try out if I really wanted to, but that, they did have a lot of their recruits already for that class, and I thought, yeah, I just want to be involved, so I'll do whatever. Flash forward to a month before arriving on campus for my freshman year, and they just hired a new assistant coach, Coach Ben Sakoma, and Coach Ben called me and was like, hey, I think you should try out. I decided to try out, and I made the team, and the first week on the team, Coach Jay pulls me in his office and goes, have you ever played long pole? And I go, no, and he goes, well, if you want to be on this team, you should play long pole. And I go, well, giddy up, let's play long pole. I switched to long pole. I played my first game of college lacrosse. I started, didn't play well, got pulled, became a backup the rest of the year, but still played a good amount and had an effect on the team. Definitely think I contributed. But the big thing about what changed was from high school to college was that my identity was no longer in the result. I no longer was a different person after a loss. I still get angry after losing. I still am an extremely competitive person. It is not fun to lose. I hate it more than I like winning. But it will not change who I am because my identity at the end of the day is in Christ. So win or lose, I'm going to give the glory to him. Yeah, so learning to play for God and not for myself, and putting my identity in God and not the outcome completely changed my perspective of sport and has just really made my college lacrosse experience awesome. I've been injury-free for the most part in college, except for one concussion sophomore year. But other than that, I've been injury-free and have just been loving my lacrosse experience. And that has led me then to sophomore year, when I accepted the FCA internship role, and then COVID hit and canceled that. But God was good. It was my dream internship, so they asked like if I'd want to do it next year, and I said if I was still free, and I said, Kyle, I don't care what I'm doing, I want to do this internship. It combines the two things I love, the sport of lacrosse and God. So there was not much more else I would want in an internship. So I was blessed enough to do it, and I had extremely high expectations for the internship, and it just did not disappoint. I loved every second of it, all the sleepless nights, all the hard work hours, all the lack of planning, spontaneous schedule. I loved every second of it, and that's really because of the people at FCA. They really do pour into you as much as they can, so that you can then pour into others. But after that FCA internship, I'm now back at campus, and we went on this whole high of this summer, this awesome summer where God really just works through you and works through others, and you see God in all these aspects. And now I'm back on campus, and I'm back in the real world off this high. And it's been so encouraging to see that these relationships that started in this summer are continuing, and that I can take what I learned this summer and bring that to my teammates, bring that to the campus community. After this awesome summer at FCA Lacrosse, I'm now back in the real world, coming off this just, summer camp high of just awesome community this whole summer. And now I'm back in the real world, and I just want to encourage all of you, when you go through something and you commit your life to Christ, you are not perfect. You are still being made perfect in his eyes, but it is a process. And just always be reminded that throughout all things, he is making you and refining you to be his perfect son or daughter in Christ. And if I could summarize all the things I've learned through FCA and through college lacrosse, being at a Christian school, I would summarize it in one thing of just put your identity in Christ, play for him, and the rest will take care of itself.